I think it's safe to say that not all K-pop music videos are created equal. Some are visually stunning, some tell emotional stories, but every once in a while, a music video comes along that feels less like a music video and more like a puzzle waiting to be solved. And for BTS, that masterpiece is undoubtedly Blood, Sweat and Tears. Released in 2016 as the title track of Wings, Blood, Sweat and Tears completely changed the game. Fans were mesmerized by the luxurious visuals, haunting choreography and addictive melody. But beneath the elegant aesthetic lies something much deeper. Years after its release, people are still uncovering hidden meanings, literary references, and psychological symbolism embedded within every frame. Was this simply a song about desire? Or was BTS telling a much bigger story about temptation, identity, and the painful process of growing up? Today, we're diving into some of the most mind-blowing fan theories that attempt to decode one of BTS's most complex masterpieces. To understand Blood, Sweat and Tears, we first have to understand its biggest inspiration, Hermann Hesse's novel Demian. Demian is a coming-of-age story that follows a young boy named Sinclair as he struggles to leave behind the innocent worldview of childhood. Throughout his journey, Sinclair learns that the world isn't divided neatly into good and evil. Instead, becoming your true self requires acknowledging both the light and darkness within you. Sound familiar? Many fans believe Blood, Sweat and Tears serves as a psychological retelling of Sinclair's journey. Throughout the music video, the members move through an elegant museum-like setting filled with classical artwork and religious symbolism. At first glance, everything appears beautiful and refined. But underneath that beauty is chaos, temptation, and internal conflict. The boys aren't simply dancing through an art gallery, they're slowly being pulled away from innocence and into a darker, more complicated reality. One of the most discussed moments happens near the end of the video, when Jin kisses a mysterious statue. This scene sparked countless theories across the fandom. Many believe the statue represents Abraxas, a symbolic deity referenced in Demian. Unlike traditional figures that represent only goodness, Abraxas embodies both good and evil. According to the philosophy explored in the novel, a person cannot truly mature without accepting every aspect of themselves, including the parts society teaches them to reject. If that's true, Jin's kiss isn't an act of romance. It's a choice, a conscious acceptance of temptation, imperfection, and the complicated truth that adulthood isn't black and white. Instead of resisting darkness entirely, Sinclair, and perhaps Jin, embraces the reality that both light and shadow shape who we become. And honestly, that's a pretty heavy message for what many initially assumed was just another love song. But the theories don't stop there. Another fascinating interpretation suggests that the 7 BTS members aren't actually portraying 7 separate individuals. Instead, they represent different fragments of a single mind. Specifically, the fragmented psychology of Sinclair himself. When you revisit the music video with this perspective, certain moments suddenly take on entirely new meanings. Take V, for example. Fans often describe him as a fallen angel figure. His scenes carry an unsettling energy, positioning him as a symbol of temptation, rebellion, and the darker impulses lurking beneath the surface. Then there's Jimin. Throughout the video, Jimin appears caught between opposing forces. The colors surrounding him frequently shift between white, red, and blue, creating a visual tug-of-war between innocence and corruption, purity and desire. He becomes the embodiment of internal conflict, the part of ourselves that doesn't know which path to follow. Meanwhile, other members seem to act as psychological influences. Suga blindfolding Jimin can be interpreted as obscuring judgment or limiting one's ability to see reality clearly. RM, seen drinking absinthe before offering it to Jungkook, may symbolize temptation disguised as liberation. Absinthe itself has long been associated with artistic inspiration, excess, and altered perception. These actions begin to resemble thoughts battling inside the same person rather than interactions between separate characters. Fear, desire, curiosity, self-doubt, rebellion, all fighting for control. Suddenly, Blood, Sweat and Tears transforms into a visual representation of the human psyche. And perhaps that's why so many people connect with it emotionally. Because who hasn't experienced moments where different parts of themselves are pulling in opposite directions? But one of the most intriguing theories moves away from fictional storytelling entirely and focuses on BTS themselves. Some fans, particularly within online discussions and analytical communities, believe Blood, Sweat and Tears serves as a meta-commentary on fame and the music industry. Think about the title itself. Blood, sweat, tears. These aren't abstract concepts, they're sacrifices. The literal price paid for ambition, long training periods, exhaustion, pressure, constant scrutiny, the endless pursuit of perfection. From this perspective, the lyrics take on a completely different meaning. When BTS sing about giving their blood, sweat, and tears, they're describing what it costs to achieve success. Every performance, every sleepless night, every moment spent chasing an impossible dream. Even lines that sound romantic become more complex. Kiss me. I don't care if it hurts. What if that isn't directed toward a lover? What if it's directed toward fame itself? Toward the intoxicating feeling of being adored? Toward the relationship between artists and fans? Because love from millions can be beautiful. But it can also be overwhelming, demanding, addictive. Artists give pieces of themselves to maintain that connection, even when it comes at a personal cost. In that interpretation, Blood, Sweat, and Tears becomes both a celebration and a warning. Success is extraordinary, but it asks for something in return. Finally, we have one of the most heartbreaking symbols in the entire video, the balloon. Within the Bangtan universe, balloons are often associated with childhood innocence and purity. They represent simpler times. Dreams untouched by reality. The version of ourselves that existed before disappointment and hardship entered the picture. At one point, Jin lets go of the balloon. It's a quiet moment, but many fans consider it one of the most significant scenes in the entire narrative. By releasing it, Jin symbolically lets go of his naive understanding of the world. He accepts that growing up means facing uncomfortable truths, that innocence cannot last forever. And then comes the mirror scene. Jin looks at his reflection, but the image isn't whole. His face begins to crack. The symbolism here is devastating. The perfect illusion has shattered. The belief that the world is simple, fair, and easily understood no longer exists. Experience has changed him permanently. And perhaps that's the true message of Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Growth isn't painless. Becoming yourself requires difficult choices. It means confronting temptation, questioning your beliefs, acknowledging your flaws, and accepting that innocence eventually gives way to experience. Years after its release, Blood, Sweat, and Tears remains one of BTS's most brilliant achievements because it trusts its audience to think deeply. It doesn't hand us all the answers. Instead, it invites us to interpret, debate, and discover our own meanings hidden beneath the surface. So what do you think? Do you believe the music video is primarily a retelling of Demian? Are the members fragments of Sinclair's psyche? Could this all be BTS reflecting on the sacrifices behind fame and success? Or is there another theory that you think explains the masterpiece even better? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Which Blood, Sweat, and Tears theory blew your mind the most? And after revisiting these hidden meanings, do you see the music video differently now? One thing is certain. Blood, Sweat, and Tears wasn't just a comeback. It was a work of art that turned a K-pop music video into an unforgettable exploration of temptation, identity, and the painful beauty of growing up.